Hello all, I'm Mithun and welcome back to a brand new video. So in this video, let's discuss about DevOps. There is a lot of buzz around DevOps. So in this video, let's try to figure out what DevOps is. So what is the main problem it's solving and what do DevOps engineers actually do? And finally, so I have a 5 phase roadmap. Okay, so for anyone who wishes to enter DevOps, so this is a structured plan, so which you can follow if you are someone who is aiming to be a DevOps, wanted to be a DevOps engineer. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, so historically, whenever a project is built, right, so it follows something called as a software development lifecycle, SDLC. So you would have heard. So now initially, so whatever project we have, right, so it will happen in 2 phases. Okay, I am taking it at a very higher level. So this is the scenario before DevOps. Okay, so the project used to happen at 2 phases. Okay, so the first phase is the development phase. Okay, the development phase where the application is planned, the features are drafted, the code is written. Okay, so all of those things are done in the development phase. And next, in the operations phase, okay, in the operations phase, so the testing would have done, so would be done, the bugs would be found out, and it would be finally deployed to the users. So this is how the project delivery was happening, or the software development lifecycle was happening at a higher level. Okay, but this has a lot of flaws. Like, let's say a application is developed and the operation team is taking a lot of time to test. So then the development team is idle. This is wasting a lot of time. Many a times parallelly there will be multiple projects running. Okay, and like, let's say the development team completed the development, moved the project to operations team and entered a new project. Now after some days, operation teams comes up with the bugs, and then development team needs to step back again. So there was a lot of problems in this. Okay, so now to the main problem was with respect to communication and integration of these two processes, right? So that is where DevOps came into picture again. So if you see, dev stands for the development phase, ops stands for the operations. Developer operations is what DevOps actually is. The whole idea of DevOps is to coordinate. Okay, so again, let me show you the symbol of DevOps. Okay, so this is the symbol of DevOps. If you see, it resembles infinity. Okay, can you see, it resembles infinity, telling that the opportunities are infinity for both development and the operations team. Okay, so now a DevOps engineer, okay, so who is trained in DevOps, will be included in all of these phases. So they will be included in the planning phase as well. So here we are not just going to plan the development. So the whole plan till the release and the monitoring, everything would be planned here. So how are we going to release? How are we going to monitor? So all of the practices will be starting to implement here. Then the developers will pick up, write the code. Okay, and they will maintain multiple versions here. Okay, so in the coding phase, using version controls like git. Okay, again, so this is a good example. See, in the coding phase, so we will be using something called as git for the version control, so that multiple versions can be developed simultaneously. And there will be a lot of build tools used. Okay, so one of the build tool is Gradle, Maven. Okay, so these build tools are used, and then before releasing, everything would be tested. Okay, so there will be unit testing, integration testing, automation testing. There will be a lot of testings happening. So this covers the development phase, where the planning happens, version control happens, where the developers write code, and then builds will run, executing the tests. So with this, what happened, the quality of the product will be assured, that hey, so this is passing our automation, hey, this is passing our test cases, where the test cases are drafted based on the scenarios. So with this, the development phase quality has improved. Next, in the release, everything would be automated. Okay, so there will be all automated builds being run, so tests being run, release being made. You would have heard of CI/CD, right? Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Using various tools like Jenkins, the releases will happen, and the deployment will happen through containers, which is very much famous these days, like Docker and orchestration tools like Kubernetes. And then once this is done, so we will be monitoring as well. So we'll be configuring. So this is configuration management, what you see, Ansible, okay, Chef, Puppet. So these are all configuration management. And once the application is deployed, you should also monitor it, right? So that is where tools like Grafana Prometheus, all of these comes into picture. So this whole cycle is called as DevOps. Okay, it's a cycle from the planning phase to deploying it and monitoring it, and each phase is automated. Okay, it's not like manual intervention are needed. Manual monitoring will be done, but every process is tried to automate, so there will be continuous integration and continuous deployments being achieved. Okay, again, if this is high level, not an issue at all, no need to worry. Imagine this DevOps people will reduce all of the limitations in these communications, improve communications, improve the process productivity through automation, and finally ensuring the product quality. Okay, so this is what is DevOps. Again, you would have you heard a lot of roles like DevOps engineers, release engineer. There are a lot of profiles, but this is what whole in whole they do. Okay, again, this is very much exciting field, and especially not only for DevOps people, but if you are a full stack developer, you would be expected to understand the DevOps processes and be comfortable with it. So now for anyone, okay, so who is planning to be a DevOps engineer, so or someone who is a full stack developer and want to enter DevOps as well, you can follow this 5-phase roadmap. Okay, so I'll explain this each individually so that you will be understanding a lot of things. So first thing is that in the phase one, let's start with the ground up fundamentals. So the major requirement is the understanding of Linux. Why? Because all of the release deployments happens on the servers, and majority of the servers are powered by Linux. Okay, so you should master Linux. You should have a clear understanding of the file system, how to handle network, all of this, and then you should also know the bash scripting. Okay, so to run scripts on this Linux machines. And networking fundamentals is very much important because everything is delivered over a network, right? You should understand TCP, IP, different protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SSH, different protocols. Then you should have a clear understanding on DHCP, DNS. So all of the networking concepts which is involved, like let's say how I am accessing this website, what goes behind the scenes, all of those networking things should be understood by you. And if you remember, so the integration phase we had Git, right? So Git is also a very important skill. So, and these are very much basics, so I have put up in the phase one. So this should not take much time, and here you need not to master everything, you should get started with things. Once this is done, so next you should pick up a programming language. Okay, so I would recommend Python, but yeah, so if you're someone who is interested in Go, I think Go also serves the purpose. So why do we need this programming language, Mithun? So we need to write a lot of automation scripts. Okay, and Python is one of the most chosen automation language. So to write these automations, you need programming language. Automate a lot of things. Okay, using this, the system processes should be automated. So with this, your phase two is also clear. Now, till now we haven't entered into the development part or the operations part. Till now we are getting ourselves ready to enter, and in the phase 3 comes the major checkpoint where we will learn different cloud providers. There is AWS, GCP, Azure. Don't try to master everything at once. Pick one and master it. Okay, explore various services, offerings, get comfortable with them. Again, so whenever you are running machines anywhere on the cloud, you will be using Linux. So since you have the Linux background, it should be very much comfortable for you. And next, so by now it's assumed that their application is already ready and you will be picking it up. So to deploy it, you will be using tools like Docker. Okay, you need to understand the concept of containerization, why Docker, what advantages you are getting, how to work with it, so all of it. And then we'll move to CI/CD. So how to write these CI/CD pipelines. So start with GitHub Actions. Okay, it's the most easier way. And next, move to Jenkins. Even Jenkins supports the same CI/CD writing these pipelines. So learn how to write Jenkins files, how to debug this. So all of this would be in the phase 3 where you are starting the actual DevOps part. But to start this, you need to have a clear understanding on phase 1 and phase 2. With this, our deployment is done, means our application is running. But it's not just about running, right? It's serving for a lot of things. So that is where container orchestration tools like Kubernetes comes into picture. So Kubernetes helps you to manage these containers, these Docker containers at a very large scale. So it's also a wonderful tech stack to learn. And then there are a lot of concepts like reverse proxy, forward proxy, load balancing, web server. Okay, so for that, master NGINX. So this is where you will learn a lot of things about how to manage load. Okay, so that is where I have put up this in the phase 4. And next we need to manage all of the configurations of our application. So that is where there are multiple options: Ansible, Puppet, Chef, but I would recommend you starting with Ansible. So this is a great point to start with configuration management. And these 4 phases, right, I would recommend any application developer also should know all of this. It's not just the DevOps engineers. Okay, again, DevOps has become a core part of application development itself. Okay, so there will be a separate team, but you should be capable of not creating, at least debugging it and finding the root cause as an application developer. So these 4 phases is what I would recommend everyone to do. Next, we will move to the phase 5, where we are going to touch on the advanced concepts like IAC infrastructure as code. Okay, so where you will be managing your servers, your infrastructure management comes into picture. There Terraform plays a very important role. So if you are having a good understanding of Terraform, some hands-on experience, it will be a greater boost. And finally, monitoring and login. So once the application is deployed, it's serving, you should monitor it, right? And if you want to debug, you need to have logging functionalities. So there are a lot of things, but I would recommend you starting with Prometheus and Grafana. So these are a good stack to get started with. Again, I have mentioned multiple things here, right? So these are all what considering a beginner. Okay, so there are a lot of options. You can learn them eventually, but if you cover these 6 phases, then you are ready to get started with DevOps at a industry scale. Okay, so this is what it is. So I hope now you guys know what DevOps is, what was the problem before, and how DevOps is solving at various phases with various tech stack, and what DevOps engineers actually do, what phases they are involved. You can just have a look at these phases and what they will be doing. And here is the complete 5-phase roadmap. Okay, so this should hardly take you 6 months to cover to get started. Again, so the learning curve is very much, so you could learn eventually as well. So that's it. If you have any questions, put up into the chat. Give this video a thumbs up so that I will get to know that what videos to make, and subscribe to the channel so you will be getting a lot of videos like this. And yeah, I will catch you up in the next one. Thank you.